What's happening, Big J? How you doing?
I'm good. Life is good. I got to say, talking to you, it's one of those cool moments, like one of those guys you really enjoy watching, and then I weird myself out by saying that to you because I imagine how weird it'd be if somebody said that to me.
Well, thanks, man. I'll take the compliment and leave it at that.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, you don't have to tell me how creeped out you are. Well, rumor on the street is you're a big get out and vote guy. You want people to vote.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I want everybody to get out and vote, and particularly because I think we're going to have a record turnout, and for a few reasons. One is a matter of convenience to just get out and not get stuck in a long line on election day, but also if there's any discrepancy between the name on your ID and the name on the rolls, you'll have time to clear it up so that you can cast your vote and have your vote counted. Because nothing could be worse than going to vote and then not being able to vote. I mean we definitely don't want that.
I've had that happen to me before in the past, and so I know how frustrating that can be, where I go to vote and I moved and I'm at the wrong place and you can't get it fixed and you just end up like not being able to vote because you can't fix it.
Yeah, and that's just criminal. I mean, it's such an important right that we all have. We do have a voice, and obviously if you look at these presidential elections and how close they are, everyone really needs to have their voice heard. And so to be in a situation that perhaps could have been avoided would just really be a shame.
I agree 100% with that. A lot of people come out against celebrities like you, movie stars, musicians, people like that get involved in politics. They're like, you're a movie star, just do movies, stay out of politics. But I realized when I was doing research on you, you're actually like a really smart guy. Obviously, you wrote Good Will Hunting.
Right.
You almost graduated from Harvard, but you left to do the acting thing, which has obviously paid off. But you're a normal dude with a family that cares about what happens in America, but you're also educated and you know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, and ultimately my number one message is to get out and vote, no matter who you vote for.
Mm-hmm.
I obviously, everybody knows that I'm a big supporter of Barack Obama, but above that, I'm an American, and the first message I have for everybody is to please exercise that right and vote, even if you're going to vote on the other ticket. The country works better when more of us are involved, and we need to make sure that everyone's involved and everyone's votes counted by the time we get to the end of November 4th.
Have you always been that way? I mean, right when you turned 18, were you that guy that was excited to vote, or is this something new that you figured out?
No, what's really interesting for me is, I did an event down at the University of Miami this morning. That's where I live in Miami. And to see the enthusiasm of these college kids, 18, 19, 20 years old, and to juxtapose that to what I was like when I was 18, my first presidential election, was the Bush-Dukakis election, mm-hmm. and I was from Massachusetts, and Dukakis was my governor, and I was very, ho-hum about the whole thing, and I think it's because of these last two presidential elections, it was demonstrated for us how close these things are, and I think that the exciting part of that is that we all have come to this understanding of how important our one individual vote actually is.
Mm-hmm.
In 2000, down here in Florida, was decided by 537 votes, and that is just staggering. When you think about a country of 300 million people, that the presidential election gets decided by less than 600 people, it's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. And in 2004, Bush carried Ohio by 1 or 2%, and what that actually broke down to was 10 votes per precinct.
Wow.
So these things are unbelievably close. So the good news about that is that all of us, every American, has to feel now that their voice is being heard by the candidates and by the people in Washington, and by the country at large. And that's the really exciting part. And that's why it's important, because I'm excited about this year, because it looks like we're going to have a historic turnout. And I think that's a big win for America.
Yeah, that's one of the things I've noticed too, and a lot of younger people, like you were talking about the college kids there, it's like I think a lot of people, I know a lot of people that were younger would vote before, but I don't think they were this interested, like wanted to know what was going on or got this passionate about a candidate. Have you ever been this passionate about an election before?
No, I mean, I've never done this much work on a campaign before. I was overseas working during both the 2000 and 2004 elections, so I wasn't able to really participate as much. But to be here, particularly to live in Florida, after these last two elections have been so close, and I think the build-up with all the TV programs and stuff on the computer and YouTube and everything has been so. We've been at this as a nation for almost 2 years. Going through the primary process and then getting through that, and now going through the general election. So it's just become bigger, which is great. I mean, that really is as it should be. If you stop somebody on the street and strike up a conversation about politics, chances are you're going to have a pretty interesting conversation, and people are really getting more and more well informed. And no matter which side you come down on, it's exciting to just have that exchange of ideas with people.
Very true. We're talking to Matt Damon on the Big J Show. Matt, I know you took some time off from doing movies so you could spend some more time with your kids and your wife, Luciana. Is she upset that you're out on the campaign trail, or do you guys see eye to eye on politics? There's no fighting in the Damon household?
No, we tend to really agree, she and I, about a lot of the. I'm going for Obama because I'm really upset with the direction the country's been going in for 8 years. It just, everything's backwards, it seems right now, and I really want to change. I want the ship to get turned around and headed in another direction. So she and I are kind of on the same page about that. I mean, I was at a food bank in San Francisco a few days ago, and I was serving food in the food line, and the most remarkable thing was that talking to the people for this initiative, Feeding America, this is a great group that they feed about 25 million Americans regularly, and only 10% of their clients are homeless. 90% of their clientele are working people who can't make ends meet.
Wow.
Their wages have stagnated, and the price of food is, it's gone crazy. So they're these single moms and dads with their kids. These guys are working full time, and then they got to go to the food line, and it was staggering. A lot of seniors who are on a fixed income, and if you're on a fixed income, and as any senior knows, and the price of food goes through the roof. I mean, what do? You got to go to the food bank, and so to see that, we just really need some change, and I like the idea of having a president who himself was once on food stamps. I think he understands what these people are going through, and I think he'll do something to change it.
Being such an outspoken advocate for Barack, have you got a chance to meet him yet? Sit down and talk to the guy?
I met him very briefly, actually. My interest was never to meet him or to spend time with him.
Yeah.
Though I think he's a very interesting, really incredible guy. I'm not trying to make friends with him. It's his policies that I really agree with, and I think are going to help a lot of people. Get stuff back together here. I mean, the middle class is just disappearing in this country, and the fact that he's going to cut 95% of people's taxes is I think great. He's going to raise my taxes, but
you've got no problem with that.
I can handle it.
Well, excellent. If you're going to take the hit for us, Matt Damon, I'm totally cool with that. So thanks so much for taking the time out of your day, and thanks so much for getting behind such a great cause and talking to people here in Billings, Montana.
Okay, great. And remember, if you're listening to this in Montana. Remember, whoever you vote for, please think about voting early. Whether you're going for McCain or Obama, just make sure your vote is counted, because that's the big win for all of us, for every American, if all our voices are heard.
I'm going to do it right now. Thanks so much for being on the Big J Show, Matt Damon. Have a great day.
Great, thank you. I appreciate it.
The Big J Show, weekday mornings from 6 till 10 on Billings' #1 hit music station, Hot 101.9.